Hey, Moon Goddess Scarlet. I swear I'm not stoned. My eyes are just lazy like this all the time. But I totally feel you about being an ex-witness with social anxiety. I was disfellowshipped about a year and a half ago. No. More recently. I forget now. But anyway, same deal. It's lame, to say the very least. Um, you said you left when you were 17 and were in from birth, so that's a long time. I'm gonna be stoned later. I'd say get a therapist, dude, if you can afford it. There are some programs out there to help you find like therapists, psychiatrists, and cognitive behavioral therapy is the technique that a lot of them use these days, and it was really helpful for me early on. And I haven't, I couldn't break it all down for you, but I will say as an ex-witness, CBT, or cognitive behavioral therapy, kind of did help me combat some of my social anxiety, which did center around being a witness and, having a really structured, predetermined set of acceptable social behaviors and not really learning to exercise any other social behaviors like flirting or bullshitting, small talk, whatever you want to call it. Trusting people who aren't witnesses, which would not seem ridiculous, but again, like all that kind of stuff that probably like ticks you off as an exjw. CBT does have some room for people to work on that, and you'll meet a lot of different weirdos there, so you won't feel like, I don't know if you're gonna do a group thing or an individual thing, but like I said, there's group therapy and there's individual therapy for CBT, and it can work. So that's one recommendation. And then I would also really like to know how you deal with your social anxiety now. Like I'm a line cook, which is kind of an excuse to drink and smoke a lot. So that's my coping mechanism, and I think I'm gonna taper off cigarettes because I like menthols, but not that much. Make me feel like shit sometimes. But yeah, once I left, I started smoking cigarettes, and that was interesting. I learned, how much I could sell a cigarette for on the street, kind of how to spot a smoker, and it's something else to talk about that you never would have, thought about before being a witness. So that was different. And then I started drinking a whole lot more, which I don't recommend because it just eats through money like you would. I did not believe I could lose so much money so fast. Wake up Sunday morning looking for that $20 bill I'd stuffed in my sock, realizing that I'd taken that out to buy someone a shot. So, whatever you do, don't drink. If you decide to smoke cigarettes, it's your own call. I'm not in love with it, but as far as dealing with social anxiety, it's a fairly common coping mechanism. And then I think the last thing I wanted to say was, being a witness, being raised as a witness, you are kind of spoiled in some ways, because you're surrounded by people that are only allowed to communicate in a certain way. These people might not think much of you, know you, like you, whatever, but every time they see you, they're gonna smile, they're gonna shake your hand or hug you. You know, they're gonna try to say something upbuilding or encouraging or whatever the fuck else. You know the shit. And that shit is unique to Jehovah's Witnesses, and once you leave that circle of association, as far as I can tell, you kind of have to forfeit that kind of like that vibe. Along along with forfeiting the whole sexually repressed, socially repressed, guilt-driven, all of that stuff. All of that. So you lose some bad, and there's a little bit of good to be lost too. Because, let's be honest, you already know as a witness, if you've gone door to door more than once, people don't like us. And we're pretty easy to spot outside of the suit and tie, 8 times out of 10, so just understand that, gotta take the good with the bad, I guess. But best wishes, best of luck. Fuck, I don't even know how to say best of luck. I should learn that. But, yeah, I mean, I wish you well. And I hope you deal with your social anxiety very well, because you don't want to suffer through that shit. Alright, that's my response. Cool.